Hey, atinka 104.7 FM abusianfo ebraso se dwumadi na wotwe bia ebo anwumre na wotwe a yede ebramo no ebraso se nenso yede ebramo the legend sports show ya abrini na yede akukudam atwotworo ne anintire ya wote akutie na ase ene yede won eba dwumadi so se obecheche ne omame yate ase se de yen akudie no ne gina pen anase de ne oma esi ekro enenso adaroma Mensah kan legend kesiye daroma Mensah kan obi a wote akutie no ase se ene so obetim de ado asuko ne ye hu se world cup ye call ye modern mo no na ya anko ye anase anko se de nyina hwehwe no no eye hwan fom so anase mpo hu hia se de tobo ebebo obi a na mom nsiesie kituwa bi ena wose ye se de be ya next time no Ghana ye betumi akoye nim na Ghana sports the way forward na saying ena esi etie no ntina nei adaroma Mensah ka onimonyamfo honorable wisdom Koblah Mensah Woyome ya enei Southton mrashe badwani ena ye no adi ahia ye bedi nkomo ranking member on sports ena nei ye no ahia ye bedi nkomo no acheche nioma bebre ani so medin te justice kwajo adusi poku ubetimi afreme ka wadwene berpamu no memo akwanya na wonso wafrɛ de wadwenkyerɛ aba WhatsApp anase SMS ubetimi ato de amaneme e wo 0200 657419 0200 657419 Facebook Atinka FM anase Justice Adusi Poku Honorable are well seated and poised for action. Honorable Mema Ajo Edeba Atinka FM so. Pacho apum ti saying.
Boko.
Yeka Honorable Wisdom Koblah Mensah Woyome one wine.
Oh, minia. Me a member of parliament from South Tong constituency, the Volta region. And me also in parliament a member of the youth sports and culture committee. I used to be chairing it until 2016. We lost power. That is, so we became the minority. And in the course of appointments, almost at the ranking of the committee, me actively acting in till today as the ranking on the Youth Sports and Culture Committee in Parliament. I serve also on other committees, the Foreign Affairs Committee, and then of course the Privileges Committee. And this is my fourth term in Parliament, so that is how it is. When it comes to issues of sports, in all humility, I think I understand something.
Honorable eti agudie na see pa na honorable yemisa ne say wo share usuku ase no na sports na nka se wani je ho ana se awiechire ya uko school dum pempenso bi ene wani ba je sports no ho
me per sports in fact we go for Presec Legon from 1 to 7, that is 1 to 5. And then 6 from 2 years. And each time I ever sports was school, I've always tried to participate in one be there. At one time I was nominated to throw javelin, but I noticed one particular area now I wasn't feeling well, so the performance was so poor that my main can say no, I wouldn't do that anymore. But anytime I want to see people succeed in such activities, and when it comes to football, it's something that I have a special passion for. And if you watch carefully, all over the years, I think it is in the family.
Oh, okay.
It is in the family. My father, has a folk supporter. He will always talk about Hearts of Folk morning, afternoon, evening. Until the whole house was Hearts of Folk. Okay. So automatically, the whole house, except my big brother, Alfred Woyome, he was he decided that he will not tell where everybody is going. Into Obia was here has of no ye kotoko. Into at least it brought a bit of interesting times at home. Anytime House of Folk and Kotoko, yeah, Bob Walla, I would say, you know, my film yede because
Phobia.
yeah, oh yes, until the bulls are rotten. We never say die. But till now, yeah, I want to be so neutral to encourage every Premier game, football teams, administrators out there, because of where and the hat you are wearing. No, I am for all. And so we should will dispassionately deal with it the way also you deal with it without any bias. And see, I want to say that it is well.
Okay. Honorable Yemsheni say, your opinion on Ghana sports and I say the state of Ghana sports. Say, who is saying?
Well, there was we are a bit stagnated in a way as a share performance in recent times compared to the past. And the past is about from maybe independence up to even the times we find ourselves. But we need to do a lot. And also by way of ensuring even young legal regimes should by now we will say have everything in place and then be able to have a beautiful relationship well defined with the private sector, so well known. And then we will want to also know the responsibility of the various operators at the grassroots in terms of the local governance of young games, sports in general, and how effectively, and also should not be something that we should be thinking and talking about, should be well laid out properly. The role of the schools in developing sports, even though we have one entity called National Sports Authority with federations and that are helping. But they can also do this without the full support of the schools, because the schools, that is the ground where you can always get the best.
Okay.
What I say, so you cannot divorce that. This is in the past, many that we can always be proud. They were all discovered through school. See, there's so we are still struggling to get it right, and we are still not there.
Okay. We are still not there. Atinka 104.7 FM, Ajenkwa 101.9 FM, Ewu Kumasi, Ahoto 102.3 FM, Ewo Tadi. Honorable Wisdom, Koblah Mensah, Woyome, Southern MP, Ewo Volta region, and Yanana Asia, Yabon Komo, no Cheche, and Yomabi, and so. Honorable Yansheni say, Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports. Obibi say, Ewo ho, na ewo ho ani effectiveness, anything.
Oh, that's okay. Well, you can't committees of parliament, or more or less they rule the parliament as a body and its committees performer. As you already know, one is like the oversight over the executive arm and ensuring representing the people. And so the budget, for instance, the period that you mean, there was names given to each of the committees, are in line with the various sectors that exist with ministers are so like youth sports and culture committee yen in terms of expenditure, in terms of programs execute implementing, in terms of policies that everything to ensure value for money and to ensure that the policy that government itself has set out to do in the short term are actually being implemented and are on track and ensuring spending a year and we are getting good returns. So that is the work of the committee. And so I would say that the committee and of course like all other committees, we are doing our best in the circumstance we find ourselves. So that is how it is. I mean, I know where sometimes people bring this argument, say, it appears like the parliament is a bit weak and not able to exert that authority and to ensure that the right things are done in a manner, it remains yes or no argument that people might say, because of course you can also criticize the hybrid system now here practicing, because of course in government the president, with the executive president, is enjoined by law to ensure that at least 50% of his cabinet ministers are from parliament. And so if he's taking people from parliament to go and serve as ministers, then you can be sure that those on the side of the government party will try to sort of work in a manner to please two masters. You are working to please your constituents that have sent you here. And at the same time, you're also interested to go and serve in the ministry. So you must serve the executive president to his interest. And so where there's a divergence, where you are not able to decide properly as an MP, you might then tend to tilt towards your executive president. So then you weaken the role I also play. In other circles, in other circles, there's a possibility to say, okay, you tend to want to do your work as a member of parliament, forgetting about pressures from your executive. And when that also happens, within your own party, you'll be looked at as if you're a traitor. It's a balancing act. So you just have to look at how do you balance it. But the fact and the truth of the matter is that key thing, you have come here, which is an honor and privilege given you by your wonderful constituents. So the work here must end at their doorstep. We are answerable to the people and not to anybody. That is why we are here, first and foremost. So I want to say that based on that, we must be seen working in the interest of the people of this country that have sent us here.
Okay. Honorable Yemhwe BBC. Black Stars, Echo, World Cup, early exit. Your mother mono say.
A bit disappointing. Disappointing, knowing very well that we have a very youthful team, very wonderful, surprising. These are the team. I would say they are not bad, and these are teams that are, for me, I think that we should still keep. We should keep and let them play among themselves, involve them in a lot of international tournaments, so that they can get used to each other for future events. What I think accounted for that early exit, which your expectations, was one. I think there were some negative officiations against us that didn't also work well for us. I would say, are a bit beyond everybody. Then aside that one too, at the camp itself, I think that they went in without a psychologist. I heard, say Trua, for instance, the skipper, said he was there whilst he had issues at home. He was there whilst, I think, his godson passed. And then the daughter was also sick. And so, these are naturally matters that will affect any individual who is in the war front. So therefore, what do you do? So with all the caliber of the technical persons that are there, I don't know whether there's that dedicated professional person that must always remain and make sure that the team's camp, they are being psyched, not to allow other things to take their mind off the main reason why we are there.
Yeah, psychological in so did they so.
Of course, I mean, not him alone. It could be there could be a telling effect. You need a team. The word means a team. You are not just interested in players. You need a team.
A formidable team.
A team. A team must know each other, must understand their rhythm, and then the kind of dance that we are going to be dancing on the field, that must be unique to how Ghanaians play.
So, who should be blamed? The FA the ministry and as a players no.
Well, I will want to say that I think in apportioning blames here, I will not be able to do so. However, I will want to say that the appointing authorities of the technical people, why didn't they take into account having a psychologist attached to the team? I understood in the past there were. And so why not now? So there were the statements that Coach Otohado himself also functions as a psychologist. To that extent, I don't know. It will always be good to separate the person, for me, if I were to suggest, so that we know one person is responsible for one aspect of the technical requirements of the team, and another person known. So we have the team medical doctor, the masseur, we have others, including one who we will call the psychologist, who then will study the team and be able to tell them that, hey, stick together. Don't lose focus. Don't look at the outside world. Don't look at your phones. Take yourself out of the tabloids. Harsh headlines, attacks on your personas. This is here. Be on the ball. Be on what we are here for. There must be somebody to help. They might be doing it, but there might be somebody who is well trained as a professional who probably might do it better. Oh, okay. And so for me, I think that was so telling on the sports kick that they did, for instance, because I didn't understand how and why that miss should be. You see, you understand. But later on, when I listened and heard a few things, then I told myself, so didn't we have a psychologist? Because you should know what is happening to your team members every moment, so that you can be there to work those things out of them and bring back the positive energy. So those things were, I think, was just missing, and it was just a sheer hard luck, and so but I would say that let's just take it easy, and then also begin to realize that we are beginning to have a team. Okay. They are young, and so let them stick together, let them be motivated, and let them realize how important everybody attaches their destiny to this country's destiny. And so when they are representing the country, they carry over 30 million positive energy, people that are there. So they should be made aware. This is the team that must let all the 30 million realize that there's no NDC, there's no MPP, there's no other political party, that we have one Ghana. And the Ghana is talking about red, gold, green with the black star. Okay. That is in the war front to bring us laurel. Those are the times that you see the entire country. In fact, at a point, I wasn't happy that whilst we were all at it, then I realized that the government of the day and some of its surrogates, like some of my colleagues in parliament here, will make so much statements and some Facebook comments, and so political. You see, so those ones we should you are a journalist, people who do those things, when it comes to football, when it comes to sports, let us pick on them and put them where they belong. Sports must not be politicized in this country.
So what can I say? Dodo na entiasie ye matiefo no. Wo pese wo chese sports ministry ho wona wo ho no bi wo ho a onsem fata ne dwumadie ya wodie anase GF ho no bi wo ho a dwumadie no onsem fata anase Black Stars technical team no ho asem ena wo kan hwan ena wo kura appointment bi ana dibia bi a ususu se emwa oman no in terms of sports ana GF dwumadie.
No, in terms of position or legitimate position or being functioning in there. So onya idea one kasobo say nipa na nya idea. But then in terms of comments, I say oh hwe ne ekoyi e be ye nkrofo bi dey say maybe nkrofo ye nya idea. And I be nkrofo bi dey say you know when it comes to those things, it doesn't speak well. It is something that we should jettison out of our system. And when maybe a minister, if it's a minister who I find to be problematic, I'll say it. So I want him to say me the main check.
Yeah, can a Ghana for party.
But the point is this: I don't think I have any reason for now.
Okay.
Really, I say to pick on the minister, except of course, I think a few times you guys have been calling me. You want to know the expenditure, the details, and all that. I think today I had opportunity. He contributed to his statement to let him know that people are asking for this, and I think he will remain accountable to everybody. I mean, that is the responsibility. Since you are the spending officer, by all means, you know that once you are the minister, you are the one wearing the cap. Everybody will want to know that this. So, and I know he's diligent. So he will have to come and maybe showcase all the details for everybody to see. And aside that one, I mean, the FE, they should know that, yes, they are also managing the Black Stars for Ghanaians. The Black Star as a team belongs to the 30 million plus people.
Ghana for dia.
Yes. And you are today in charge in managing the affairs for us. And so when we are talking, we must be listened to.
Okay.
But then in listening to them, definitely, and the way we say things and maybe put across things, and sometimes I thought are supreme.
Okay.
So all these things put together are things that I think we are all saying, say, at the end, once you put your technical people that are responsible in ensuring that they deliver the goods for us, including the full complement of professionals that we here, so taking into consideration, say, it should never happen again. Let us not put the Black Stars into a battlefront such as this without the full complement of the professionals that must be there. Unless, of course, the FA will come out to say that there was, and maybe they did all they could, but it didn't work. But I'm yet to hear that. But then I think, looking at what I'm seeing, it didn't gel as if there was a psychologist with them.
Okay. Honorable Nebro now Dalton. That's really you know more Jumadi no. You could say the Brewo at 104.7 FM. Ajem 101.9 FM and I 102.3 FM. The Legend Sports Show and a nay waso egusua utie no. Ukwada bia na watwe ebose ya Jumadi no. Chese eha ena obia etie Justice Kwacho Adusipoku enimidin hyene so sa emame na watwe bia oni yen eni ahia na onabo mimisa ne sei Mom say about accountability. O see your World Cup and your tournament be a basia. Ya na de besie no Ghana for air party. Sikasem de yam pa. Na you see you nya bowura parliament wa minister no kugina ya na de bi wo ya see friend partnership. Na e bowura mu musa ya na accountability no. E babo ntia Ghana for nche da hu ni ye ne ntia ase enso yi. Enei sports minister e ba ye ne nkomodie mu no. Uti accountability ho nsem no. We okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind, in terms of, I'll say, I mean, if Metimikaya estimate he bear $8 million for about, I mean, I don't have the exact figure for the first stage, but then they ended up spending $5 million about that out of the 8 million, so there was some savings. Now, so that those details, how they were spent in them, and I'm sure, and then later we will request for that if there need be. Then you also can say the corporate Ghana also contributed some support, and no such kind of carry supporters to the event. And of course, what I didn't see in the winning was maybe the need for the need for the need for um, full breakdown. What I say because say we entity B a contribute to be or yeah because of us in the brand associated with football. What I say. So those are some of the key things. Also they should mention how much the entity contributed. So because when you know, say maybe Atinka, Emma, 10 cities for the whole of this event. Next time, many beji Atinka ho pa na me radio station B and na TV station B. Ama na ye dwuma bi ama me. Mama tua among all no, I'll come to Atinka. Because when I say me tua sikama Atinka, a band national event almost on a day, omoboa. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is the branding I'm talking about. So those corporate entities, they are just not for that Christmas. They are given for them to what? Be recognized. Or more brand and not should be recognized so that at least they too, Ghanaians will know, say, hey, I made sure the Black Stars were giving maximum support with the presence in red, gold, green, attire, and all that we saw on the screen because I associated my brand. What did I say? So those things were not in there. They say we want to also find out. Say they also must be known. The make sure say scanner Mano. It has gone to do A, B, C, D. So if that one can be breaking down for people to appreciate. And I know he has all the records, and so he will have to just make them available. Then everybody will be happy because it is very essential. What that then will do in this watchna. Then many other corporate entities will also come on board. But I said, so that when it comes to maybe this time we have done maybe 100 supporters. Maybe next time, no, we might even do 200 or 300 because you have been able to attract a lot of corporate support or sponsorship. And so on. So those are some of the things I think. So I think Nyema is ongoing, and I'm sure from the statement, which I think is public, everybody has copies. You can also look at it yourself, and then if there are other dimensions you think I should throw some more light on, why not? Readily, I'll come.
Honorable Yenhwe ni sei Otuado eba na nsem no eye bebrebe ye ko ye early exit enye de Ghana ni bia epe atini Wobeka said did Otuado call the right players?
That is a very difficult question for me to answer. In the sense, and yes, in my say, can't say minimum without cameras on me, anka. Me to make a magic kakra. Make a magic kakra. I don't know one for akwe. I don't know one for akwe. Me am sure akwe. Oh yeah, deal. I want say akwe or police agabwa. Those things I can do it off camera. But when it comes to just talking about this, I want to be a bit professional because I am not clothed with the capacity to think that I know better than who has been trained. He who has been trained, and he is a professional, and that is the reason why they didn't come to hire you to coach the the Black Stars. But we went for him, and so he has coached because he has a background and the capacity to coach the players. Into a corny year, we'll praise him. And corny year, we'll come after him. And then, of course, it's a trinity. That's figuratively expressed. A trinity. But here, I would say that there's been a lot of talk in picking the players, and a lot of people be expressing on margin. So I then offer the way anyway. And I also normally my original on few occasions when we lost the game against one of these South American team game Koblah. Yeah, for friendly games never back home. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Switzerland. Oh, first before the Switzerland game, I think it was Nicaragua also. I think they scored us.
Nicaragua,
Yeah, one day. Yeah, it was 3-0. Yeah, yes, Switzerland. But there was the game itself. I say it was sluggishly played. there were I received not many around. People sent me messages to indicate say, oh, I then with the kind of players and the kind of team that they saw playing the game, no. And then I back wake up and people ask me those questions. I mean, those times when those games were going on. Then I called. I think I made an open statement to say that he should pay attention to what everybody is saying, and then add it to what he professionally he thinks. So when I heard the outcome with Switzerland, I was so happy. Say he's listened and he has improved dramatically. International, yeah, ready to go and demolish the world. In fact, yeah, ready. I mean, Mr. can be a praise, fine. Said, and of course, on the field of play, even against Portugal, the boys played. Not just that we won that game. It was the official, the referee, and appeared to be losing the game, but we won the game.
Portugal get 3 points, no.
Oh, game no dey to me holding on papa. You holding on papa against whoever they may call themselves. Say they are a guru or well-known football nation and have the Ronaldo, whoever. What do you say? The boys played and they were not afraid. I didn't see them showing any sign of fear. They played. Even though the goal margins, Uncle Ye. Because two of the goals that they scored, the sport kick and then the way, Bakukra offside. So technically, it was a 2-1 normally in favor of Ghana. Maybe they're in my heart, we did well. And that's why I will find it difficult to criticize them.
Who can say that is a blasters when home more than you?
I said they did well against Portugal. Is that works against? Of course, I understand because they were expecting more than that. Actually, we're expecting more than that. And one mama kai, maybe I say, hey, Kobe. Ube say me supporting blasters, na me be peace and baby man. I said, "Mabium." And me catch me. One of my cousins said, "Kopen need do not change just in case."
What me also not tell.
So, lo and behold, of course. But the truth of the matter is that they made us proud in a way. I mean, the boys did very well. This is a youthful team, and they have a good future. We must put all aside. Coach Otuado did well. And Nami can say, I think what was missing was somebody who should pep talk the boys, psych them to really remain. Because, for instance, when they were down after they lost that penalty, it means say a telly on the rest of the time I'm with bailing, they couldn't rise again. Yeah, Montimia raise. Because after I call halftime, I was thinking, you're being more so you're being winding home, but still, I say, dull na. I say, so something was not working for me until so there was some positive changes also happened, which lifted the game, but it was a bit late. And technically, we need to look at all those sides. But you see, so Otuado, he's done his best. I mean, I think some additional person was missing, and I think a psychologist was missing in that.
Percentage-wise, Otuado Beman is saying.
I think, well, I will score him. I will score him a pass mark.
Pass mark, you're saying.
And then we will my friend will answer. We'll talk about that.
The Uber score no pass mark. It be 1%, 10%.
It deserves commendation. Where are they? I mean, I will give him some 70%.
70 dear pass mark you yam pass it
60, 70. Because you know what? After Cameroon, me na me trust our statement. No. Obia had a break here. We even didn't believe say be qualify against Nigeria. It was totally written off. Attempt say yeah, World Cup. Okay. Because yeah, back, you know, something needed to be done drastically to change the narrative. Even after the statement and the contribution in Parliament and the discussions behind the scenes, and then the fact-finding commission, Mr. Speaker said, investigation into all that, and then the reasons why we haven't even come out with the report finally and all that, all because we saw that everybody seemed to pick up. Opia picking up. To the admiration of the entire House, Speaker, everybody. And then Otuado managed to get us there. And so it was like, yes, we are there. So let's continue to give him all the support. So knowing that you are making it will just not sound well for you to say you are criticizing or saying something that may be demoralized when the person is already picking up the pieces together to move forward. I don't know. So we want it well. So that was what was happening. And I would suggest that for me now we have a team. For me, now we have a team. Let this team stick together, stay together, continue to remain together, and I'm sure we'll even be smiling going forward. Once we have a disciplinarian, a tactful tactician, and some good, your friend saying, professional psychologists attached to the team, I'm sure we should be getting there.
Okay. Honorable, you shouldn't say. Into say ya Otuado, so what judgment dinner at all. Coach Ben, and I also can suggest to say blasters no crown, young Fajumati no mano.
And also, yeah, dear, camera in the hand can make sure margin.
And you find a camera in India.
Camera this year. Because you see, the moment you start talking about a particular coach, you have indicated what influence you will be. Because you know why you're a police officer. Because a year you be praised and year kasa. And when we are speaking on behalf of the 30 million people in Ghana. You see how powerful the voice from Parliament can be. I am careful so that I'm looking for who takes over whatever. All that I will say is that Obana yeni year be praise you. But one year you do TBC your chopping board so floor her Parliament and make sure we cut it well into pieces. All in the interest of the 30 million Ghanaians, because they have put us here to work for them and be the voice for them. So that's why we listen to our comments. We good presenters. We listen to all of you. We don't talk. Is part of getting feedbacks. So then when it's ready, we are ready to talk. We will now present what we know in the interest of Ghana. Majority has here. Because that is how it is. But say without necessarily
but at least coaches no dosun. You look Ghana Ghanaian coaches no mu dosun. Abrofo so ban or bantino. At least back one and be a djumadi show on sa. Obetime year adwuma ho tia magana.
And sometimes you are not able to get from it. Journalists be bisa and I don't tell them, but say camera ne ho dia make whisper bibi.
Camera ne dum no amafo tie FM no.
Oh dear. Yeah. Because you see, if you are the referee you'll be careful what comments you pass.
Okay.
Because of the position you occupy, you must always keep that position correct. In the manner when you are speaking, no, nobody makes a reference. You say, "Oh, crowd, make it come and say, Nipano, oh, you're good." And I feel he's not performing now. Oh, say there. Then you see, then it takes the power to criticize the person's non-performance. You know, you can't do it. And until I'm very careful to say anything because whoever is brought there, one performer, trust. Parliament will come after you.
Trust. Parliament will come after you. We some honorable Koblah Mensah wisdom. Woyome. And it deals with the word do wisdom. Where not just saying answer for fee pa edo free e buy. I think 104.7 FM. Me twa me ho ba sisia na se me ba. O man for say NDC MPP. Omo ye ntafo na womo and say Ghana Sports. We no ɛyɛ adwene ana 0200657419. Stay tuned. Memo akwa badeba atinka 104.7 FM. The Legend Sports Show and I still wasungusu a utie no. Honorable enso ewo fidua mu anei wa ma ya tinsem bebre na ba ko a ehia Ghana for pa. Honorable, o man for say NDC MPP. Mo ana mo gu Ghana Sports no.
Well, I mean, that is the perception of the Ghanaians. And I think they may be right. I mean, the point is that this is sports, the ancestors here politicizing. I keep saying that. You see, yes, started say here politicize here. Then you ain't making any move forward. Ain't making any move forward. Because you see, any successful team needs huge followership. That's a folk. Has its own followers. Kotoko has its followers. You understand?
Yeah.
And that is the pride of the team. Ghana Black Stars. Do you want to say we should be divided when we are talking of Ghana Black Stars? So I would always, because anytime since time memorial, we have identified ourselves say sports pan and football more. What I say, and any time it is happening, you know, homes smile. You tend to forget about your problems for a while. You tend to relax, which is all part of what, even reinvigorating your system for other jobs later. It's as if your mind has gone on holiday.
Hey.
It's true. Can you imagine, say, Ghana Blasters, Bobo, some top chief executive, with all the challenging situation we find ourselves as a country, where it is so difficult to add, you know, what do I say, the challenges, difficulties, what do I say, things are happening. Maybe tomorrow it has tripled, and so it's affecting your business and all the issues. Then, because the passion you have for sports, it has taken that thinking out of you for a moment, for you to reinvigorate. Do you know medically what you have done to yourself? And you know, let us not politicize it. It has a wonderful place in our advancement as a country.
NDC MPP.
They should tone down. Obian tone it down on sports. When it comes to sports, let's speak sports, criticize sports. Let's criticize the administrators. Let's do what, provided the facts really are there, and then we do so in sportsmanship manner, so that at least at the end of the day, you know, we are growing the industry. And let me tell you something: the industry, if well grown, also adds to the GDP of this country, and that is key through tourism. If we are having, I have teams in my constituency, and for instance, Wafa is one. Next time Wafa plays, it was or Fifi for that matter. My team send teams around to the hotels. And we have Cisneros Hotel, the Holy Trinity Spa, Shekinah Glory Hotel, Zoapa Beach Resort, Waterfront, we have 10th of Judah, even more hospitality industries are being built. Uko visiti omunyina bebre, a lot of people traveling from Kumasi, Cape Coast, Accra, and they come even, it's a match near Sunday, they arrive even on Friday, enjoy the sights, the sound of the area, the food, the wonderful God gifted treasure, the river, and all those things. So by the time they enjoy the game on Sunday and they get back to their various place of work the following day on Monday, if you can measure productivity, I'm sure you will realize they really are invigorated. And so if such a thing moves people from place to place, it is the internal tourism. Those who have invested in those industries, they make the money. Can you imagine if Ghana is hosting an international event and then people will have to travel from their respective countries? If we should have an airline, do you know the number of people that will book just to travel to Ghana for those tournaments? It's money for the airline, the airport services, the shuttle, the transportation, the Ubers. It's all money being made here. It's job created by Ghanaians for Ghanaians. Sports has a lot. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. That's why we don't need to politicize it at all. Let it run like the business. Oh, that's here. They don't politicize it. Don't politicize tourism. These two entities, they are like brothers and sisters. And let the thinking go there, and you see.
Now, honorable Yanshen say, Abribia politician Pia Bechina Simpius and a platform so na obey campaign no. Football, the youth, football, the youth, but power no be dimun samuya. Yes, yeah, Jumano, Moyenne Kitua be.
I know it's subjective. And of course, I mean, that is why you are given the opportunity to change. Because if somebody lies his way to power, then obviously it's giving you the person, the appointing authority. You can disappoint that same person and bring in the right. And if you fear to change, you don't grow. So you change and change until you get there. And so that is why in the scheme of things, that opportunity is given you. If you have the power like God has to be able to read into our conscience and mind and know that way, the day manner, say, oh, yeah, cat, and I made in Nami Babeton, but within Bible teaches why the right selection. Until I was saying, Pine Boom, not changing now, your pen and rantum. Now, near my say to me, in the fear of God, in the interest of Ghana, and then take politics out of certain things. We will get there. We will make it. We will arrive there.
We will arrive there. Honorable Yanshen say, AstroTurf, is it helping?
You see, the AstroTurf, now, you know, it appears it's not well coordinated. For me, the National Sports Authority should by now be able to talk to all government agencies that are interested in putting up such facilities in any corner of the country to follow a standard. a standard that will then meet the needs of the people, or adopted by a team in the area as a home ground. And such teams struggle to even find a home ground. So I can name a lot of them that have been built that don't meet and fit for purpose.
Yes, we are so beer.
Because you see, you can only be like your course work or training keke, but teams can't use it as a standard playing field because it doesn't meet the FIFA standard.
I say, "Hono so aban na anye na dwuma yi ana say individually microphobia di dwumadi na hye won sa na nya dwuma na yi."
The point is this: who share the entities almost see fields here. They are mostly government agencies, like you can mention maybe GNPC, Ghana Gas, all the other that are interested in also contributing to sports development. Fantastic. But then there should be a proper coordination of this intents by the National Sports Authority, that is the anchoring entity that should coordinate Winyina. For me, good, but it should be properly coordinated.
Honorable Yemhwe ni say, enche na finance minister Ken Oforiatta ebeka chen say Accra Sports Stadium, Esipon Sports Stadium of Secondary Takoradi, 80%, 90% just completed. Na so we are say no Ghana for nhu ni sa.
When him say you also lies in those statements. And more idea by putting it across, especially one of your sister stations, I can't mention their name here. They took it like a very important statement, and they went to the place and exposed the minister at the time. And as I speak to you now, there is still no plan put out by the sports ministry as to how, even after renovating such facilities, they intend to put those facilities to proper use. Apart from maybe adopting it as a home ground for some premier teams in the Western region. For instance, in the case of Esipon. Or maybe when you talk about the Northern region, maybe the premier team adopting it there, those that belong to the Northern Enclave, as their home ground. After that, how many times in a year are they going to be using SAR facilities? They say the facility in most of the times will be idling. And when it is like that, you are not maintaining it, it deteriorates. So what do? There ought to be a plan to see how you can let those facilities go into private hands for them to manage and pay something to government.
I
think the whole plan for facility management, for profit making, and also to improve tourism and all that, because when you manage those facilities well, I can tell you, we can move from Accra and be going to Esipon for events every week.
Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta and Ninokre and Ghana Mai
said, and so that place is still like that. No issue.
In this case, Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta and Afi Ninuya Alhaji Mustafa Yusuf, Sports Minister, I'll be ready to say.
Operating pa.
In the
case of the Minister for Youth and Sports, I will be a bit charitable towards him in the sense that, or not say, it's like the money he's looking for is not what he's giving in terms of budget. And the person who ensures that they are giving money, or this kind of contingency fund, to give him discretion to spend the money anyhow, which is wrong. You know, and you and I know very well our position on the finance minister. You know very well that even not too long ago, we wanted him out of the place. So seriously, we wanted him out of the place. And if you want me to rate him, and they say, it's like going for free.
This still a Oma.
Oh, that's it. You know, make a John.
Do be man
I mean, what is it? Free?
When I that say, yes, sorry, so now answer no, mami miss away. A bunny say on a na 18 pa. One kasa with team hats of folk. A free bunny say what in dear. She say we a hot cake. One hats of folk issue ye a foot to ban out of Bema 2 parties. No.
I think cool heads must prevail. Why? Cool heads. I don't know the issues into details. And again, I will not be here to pretend I know everything. But the cool heads must prevail. And if I'm given the opportunity, maybe. Somebody hinted me a few days ago. Maybe, I don't know, behind the scenes we might have to do some talking and see.
When you play and bidding command, I say, hats of folk.
There be play and bidding command first, and Sana, we need to be a Gokasa.
Honorable, when you uncle for a young listeners, no pa.
Maybe, but I'm not saying anything. I've been watching and listening, and some people called, and we will see. I mean, these are, everybody means well. So the point is that it's something that can be talked about.
Nti honorable, catch a TFO in us, when a free banny bidding como, now need to be afraid the 14th, so be Sinkunja, said a bayer. It's a Sebaya Jumana, play an attack so see a Kama has to folk, and ask them po or sign a contract. Now only has to folk, a wardian, a twasso.
A possibility, but it's not to tell you that. The Mr. Macachos will be a hint to me. Until I will see what is possible.
Okay.
What do you say? I want to be any, you know.
Uberman exclusive news.
By the grace of God, it happened. With God in it, then I'll know the way forward.
Okay. Honorable Yeko, na Yeko idea, a dear, and I odi HR Ghana for Keto Kreku by as GFA president in administration. No, Ubeka say no one no.
Well, I've maintained anything bad so far about the administration. Nobody has spoken to me, except we met to discuss the near course of Cameroon, and also by Obakasa fine my ATA. Afterwards, I think so far, unless of course there's maybe issues that are raising. Formally, the issues I used to hear about FA. I think those people, if they are still around, they don't come around anymore to tell us anything negative. And I assume say everything is fine.
Okay.
That is how I'll take it, because there are people who always walk in and we have a chat. Okay. And so far, but for a long while now, they've not come around and they have not received calls, which means maybe they don't see anything wrong. But if there is anything wrong, maybe after the camera is off, you can share it with me.
Yes, GFA no man no de papa ye be call tournament here. Government, minister, president, trophy ni ye kwajiaba until the scan. Yes, you can see now with the mayana, yet the trophy no beba. No question umba sugar coated words no modeba.
Obviously, as Grofo mo manage your team, many way team. They cannot say they are not going to achieve. Meanwhile, they know you are the spending officer. They cannot tell you say they will not go and perform. Majority has here. They will not tell you say they will not go and perform. They will come with the positive thing. You get it. Until who are the spending officer no. Also to me a technical advice on maybe some of the things are more an independent technical advice as to whether we are ready to really embark on what we want to do. And then where you think things do not look clear, boardroom discussion between the spending officer and then the FA can go on joy correcting what needs to be corrected. And with the hope, say, you are going to win. And now for when other field there, anything can happen. Yes. So after that one, I think that is the way the things like that work.
Honorable Koblah Mensah Woyome, where Southton Mrashe Bajani, Ewo Volta region. Honorable, your call last message, you are the more constituency.
May I say, yeah, being one of the greatest events in the calendar of Christians and the whole wide world. Even non-Christians also have adopted it, and the unique birthday of our Christ Savior. And a time like this comes once in a year, and it gives us the time to reflect and even look at young as human beings, whether we are actually living exactly the way expected of us. Because one, I was part of the Carol's Night 2 days ago, and I really enjoyed the messages that came variously, the lessons that were read. And the preacher woman that preached is so unique. She touched on wonderful, wonderful, wonderful statements. And I look at myself and I say, look, have I lived up to the expectations? Why God sent his son to be born on 25th December, to come into the world and save you and me. Even his coming came in humility. He was born in a manger. I mean, you and I, if they tell you should be born in a stable, I'm sure people won't understand. They'll say, is Kolebu not there? Or is the Ridge Hospital not there? Or probably, don't you have the chief's compound by you there with the midwife or whatever? These are the questions people will ask. But he was born in a manger, so he came so humble. Even in the humility with which he came, he got enemies. He innocently came into the world, but immediately he came, enemies rose. Herod said, no, they should look for the person. I want to look for him and kill him. You get it? Yeah. So immediately he was born, enemies came up. So it means in this life, you can never say you will not have opposition. They are there. So in spite of all this, they are a blend to spice our life. So whatever we are going through and the challenges and whatever it is, let's remember that Christ suffered the same fate. And his short stay on earth, he changed the face of this earth. He is dead and gone. He's been celebrated today, even mega. His miracles are being experienced every day. Let's remember this. Reflect and see whether you are living by his dictation. And let's change our ways. If you care, remember, new resolutions on 31st night should spur us into the next year with good ideas, good vision, and everybody. Don't wish evil for your brother.
Amen.
And let's move forward. Drivers and all road users, this is the time to care for your passengers. It's not about how much money you make, how many trips you make. If there should be any loss of life, you can't account for it. And that will be a dent on you because it could be avoided. Don't drink and drive when you know in that state of mind anything could happen. Don't. Focus, drive well. Don't drive when you are tired.
At all.
That is it. Remember, you have children at home, you have wife at home waiting to see you back from work. Their destinies are tied to yours. And so I think in all this, we wish everybody the best. Merry Christmas. Happy, prosperous New Year. In advance. Amen.
Amen, dear. Amen. Yama obi biara afisia pa once again Justice Kwajo Adisipoku in the meeting. And a legendary honorable Koblah Mensah Wisdom Woyome where South Tongue Mrashebadwani e wo Volta region wono and no di punimpu or the legend sports show so na Ocheche said the way forward Ghana sports said ye nyina yesi epeno da said ne yebesa nso ne mu adi ahia bio atenka 104.7 FM ajenkwa 101.9 FM ahoto 102.3 FM peace shalom official po